react,
or
control.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are stepping into a deeply intense, highly calculated corner of the internet. We're going to deconstruct a digital phenomenon that is just absolutely fascinating. It's this relentless pursuit of unshakable stoicism, or what the digital world likes to call main character energy. Picture this, a dark, cinematic aesthetic. We're talking neon blue lighting, red shadows, rain-soaked city reflections, and the deep, heavy bass hits of modern dark psychology edits. So sit back, focus in, and let's decode the psychology behind absolute emotional control.
Section 1. The Art of the Savage Reply.
So to really understand this phenomenon, we have to look at its architectural foundation. We're talking about a massively popular video by the creator Rewires. This channel has tapped directly into our modern desire for social dominance and psychological resilience. Look at the sheer, undeniable audacity of this promise. How to win any argument in one sentence. It paints this picture of a conversational chess match, right? Where you don't need to yell, you don't need to argue, you just deliver a single devastating verbal checkmate. It's like the ultimate cinematic anime moment. Picture a calm, side-profile stare in the pouring rain where your silence is literally doing all the heavy lifting.
And the hunger for this specific type of mastery? It's staggering. We're talking 287,000 views in just 5 months. That number proves something absolutely vital. There is a deep, widespread cultural appetite for learning how to project an untouchable aura. People are actively searching for the exact blueprint, to stop being reactive and start being the one who completely dictates the terms of engagement.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core conflict at the heart of this entire philosophy. On one side, you have the reactive mind. It's loud, it's emotional, it's easily triggered by the absolute slightest provocation. It's just chaos. But on the other side, you have the main character. This archetype is silent, calculated, and maintains absolute emotional control. The visual language here is striking. Think silhouette shots, side profiles, and eyes hidden in shadows. To deliver a truly savage reply, you've got to transition entirely out of that reactive mind and step into that cold, calculated state. It's the mental equivalent of a slow, dark ambient track playing in the background.
Moving on to Section 2. Technique 1. Establishing control. So how do we actually get there? Well, Rewires breaks this transformation down into 5 meticulously timed techniques. At exactly the 109 mark, Technique 1 drops. This is the foundation. Imagine the ambient tension building right here, like a slow heartbeat or a clock ticking in the background. Because before you can ever hope to dominate an opponent, you absolutely have to conquer your own chaotic instincts first. This first technique is essentially the mental speed bump that stops you from lashing out blindly.
Section 3. Techniques 2 and 3. Redirection.
Okay, once that internal control is established, the middle chapters of this framework pivot. We transition from internal emotional anchoring to external strategic manipulation. We're calling this calculated 1-2 punch the pivot. Step 1 happens at the 305 mark with Technique 2. This is all about holding your ground. You essentially become a psychological brick wall. Then, at 532, Technique 3 comes into play. Now, you aren't just absorbing their frantic energy anymore, you are actively redirecting it. You let them exhaust their rage against your absolute calm. It's exactly like a static anime protagonist just calmly watching an opponent completely wear themselves out.
Section 4. Techniques 4 and 5. Domination.
Now the dynamic is completely flipped. The opponent is totally off balance, and you are anchored. This is the final strike. At the 640 mark, Technique 4 is deployed. This is the setup. Think of it as that cinematic slow zoom in right before the climax of a scene. And then, precisely at the 8-minute mark, Technique 5 secures absolute victory. This is the exact moment that one-sentence reply is finally delivered. It's a surgical strike, delivered with just a smirk and a calm stare, completely shutting down the entire interaction. Ultimate psychological dominance is achieved.
Which brings us to Section 5. The dark art of silence.
You see, Rewires isn't operating in a vacuum here. There's an entire, highly successful ecosystem of content surrounding this video, and it all shares a very specific, moody, and intense aesthetic. Emotionless. That single word perfectly captures the adjacent viral content we found in the source data. A prime example is a creator named Chad Sensei, whose video 10 Dark Secrets to Become Emotionless sits right alongside Rewires content. The information feels almost illegal to know, which is exactly the kind of cinematic tension they're going for.
The algorithmic neighborhood we're hanging out in is incredibly specific. For instance, we've got Ghosted Psyche teaching the dark art of not reacting to 56,000 viewers. Then we have Chad Sensei's Secrets Becoming Emotionless pulling in over 700,000 views. And Rewires himself has other videos, like Hidden Dark Psychology Tricks, sitting at over 300,000 views. The algorithm is explicitly linking the art of the savage reply to dark psychology, mind control, and total emotional detachment. It's a cohesive aesthetic built entirely on shadows, deep focus, and an almost cyberpunk level of detachment.
Section 6. Main Character Energy.
So why learn these 5 techniques? Why study dark psychology or the art of not reacting at all? Well, it's all in service of a much larger pursuit. We can define this as a magnetic aura, based on surrounding sources from creators like Ria Apreti and Sherrington. It is the invisible, impossible to ignore psychological weight that is cultivated by intense discipline, silence, and emotional restraint. Just as Sherrington's title promises, it's about becoming impossible to ignore in just 7 minutes. It's that undeniable feeling when someone walks into a room and the entire atmosphere just shifts.
And when we step back and look at all the source material together, we see what we can honestly call the Sigma blueprint. This entire ecosystem of self-improvement and social dominance is built on a few core pillars. First, mastering dark psychology, as seen in Rewire's and Failure Jagoo's videos. Second, fixing low testosterone naturally, a massive topic covered by Self-Express. Third, reading people in seconds, as explained by Vaibhav Kadnar. And finally, cultivating those viral, thug-life savage moments. Whether they're breaking down dark psychology or cultivating savage moments, these videos all share the exact same language. We're talking word-by-word glowing captions, intense funk music, and an absolute obsession with total control. It is literally a comprehensive curriculum for digital age stoicism.
Silence.
Ultimately, everything we've looked at today, the 5 techniques, the dark psychology, the calculated pauses, it all strips down to one single choice in the heat of a conflict. When the noise finally fades and that ambient tension breaks, will you be the one reacting or the main character walking away? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep analyzing the world around you, and I'll catch you next time.